All right, so something I've been wanting to do for a while is talk about the Masters of Horror television series that was originally on Showtime. It was Showtime, right? Pretty sure it was. I watched it back then. All, 26 episodes of the 2 seasons, and then that got canceled, and then basically Fear Itself became season 3. It was also by Mick Garris. A lot of big horror directors directed episodes, but that one was not R-rated because it was on like network television, which was a really interesting, silly idea to do. But I'll also be covering that as well. So let's get through these seasons. I have already done John Carpenter's Pro-Life, John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns, and Dario Argento's Jennifer. And so from there, we will be covering now. What the fuck is the first episode? I don't even have my notes in order. I just press record as usual. Not prepared for shit. No, it's not that one. Nope, it's not that one. The first one was Incident on and Off a Mountain Road by Don Coscarelli from Phantasm. And we got Angus Scrimm in here as well, the tall man himself, playing a wildly different character than the tall man here. I love his performance in here. I think it's great. It's good to see him show some range. Yeah, he's just like really kooky old guy in a wheelchair. But yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. We've also got Ethan Embry in here. And the girl, I didn't write down her name because I did not recognize her to my knowledge, but I did quite like her. So we have a car accident, which is that's what we're led to believe is the incident on the mountain road. And then there's the off the mountain road, which I don't know. I guess I look at the title as like an incident on and off a mountain road as pertaining to what's happening here, but also kind of what's happening in the past. Because she's living like in the middle of nowhere, from what I can tell, with this guy who she falls in love with. You know, they have this very passionate romantic relationship. It evolves very quickly. They go out to this lunch together, and then they basically just fall for each other immediately. They rush back to his place to fuck as fast as they can, and then they get married, and that kind of jumps up quite a bit. I mean, they're like fucking on a first date, and then it seems to be years later, and he's like calling her his wife. So the time jumps a little abrupt, but you know, you can figure it out for yourself. But yeah, so she wrecks into this car that's kind of like right in the middle of the road, and then there's this big giant monster looking motherfucker that goes, well, he doesn't like to be called this, but the name that we get in this is Moonface, and he looks like a vampire. I mean, that's what he looks like, a giant vampire. But I quite liked this one. I liked this one a lot, actually. And I've watched probably like 4 of these in a row now, and there's only been one that I'm like very confused on. We're gonna get there because I'm gonna talk about all these here in a row. But for right now, yeah, this one I did quite like this one. I thought it got pretty damn dark at the ending, and I appreciated it for that. And it gets to the monster stuff so fucking fast. So for anybody who has like pacing issues, or like the, you know, people who don't like those slow burns where it progresses slowly and then it finally gets to that climatic finish, that's not this. Like, she wrecks into this car and she's being chased by this creature, Moonface, like almost instantaneously. It's like instantaneous. I don't know. That's not how that word's said. Instantaneously. There you go. And then she's, you know, off and running, and then we get the flashbacks, and we see that they have this like intense relationship, this intense love. And you know, it's funny at first, Ethan Embry's character, I was kind of unsure of. I was like, yeah, he's a bastard. There's no denying that he's a bastard. But was he wasn't, from what I could tell at that point, physically abusive so much as he was mentally abusive for what he saw as a purpose. He saw it. Now, I'm not condoning his actions. I don't think he's a good guy at all. I just didn't know exactly what to think of him because I didn't really know where the episode was going with her character. Like, I figured there might be some revelation that she kind of needed his help and that we were really kind of witnessing how his prepping of her is what, made her survive all of this. And so as it's going on and he's being hard on her, he's giving her that, kind of tough love and pushing her to her limits and training her. And this is how she is able. And that's the irony of the episode, right? It's our wounds from the past that make us stronger to be able to survive situations like this. And a lot of us don't want to give credit to our abusers for giving us that strength and that knowledge and to get through this kind of stuff. But that's exactly what this is. And that's a big reason of why I like this episode so much, is because she's able to kind of embrace and learn from her past indiscretions with her abusive husband. She's able to take and harness that and use it to now get herself out of this horrible situation. She was in one horrible situation and she takes the knowledge from that and she uses it to get herself out of another one. And of course you could take this story as metaphorical. There's all, she's a woman fighting against all the male oppression, all these characters that are coming at her, and she's defeating them and she eventually frees herself of those ties. And you could get deeper into that, but I'm not going to try to do that. I'm going to keep it a little bit more surface level, because even though I could see the argument for that, I don't feel like it's too blatant to get into. But yeah, go have at it if that's the way you want to view this. But her relationship, as I was getting to, is very conflicting up until there's the reveal that he's dead in the trunk. And then we see the flashback to where he was beating the fuck out of her and she had to kill him to get him to stop. And she jumps on his back, she starts strangling him. She's like, I fucking hate you. I hate you. God, man, you can feel that too. You can feel her hatred. And to think of like people who were once in love and then they, kind of resort to that. Like, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine being crazy in love with someone and then fast forward the clock and I'm strangling them to death, screaming, I hate you, and genuinely meaning it. Like, what a turn. What a fucking turn. But, unfortunately, it can happen. So that's a shame. But, yeah, she definitely is able to set up some traps out there a little fast. It's hard to believe. And then there's this girl falls into one of those, what the fuck do they call those things, where you fall into the hole and there's spikes in there? It starts with a P, doesn't it? Like a paunchy hole, or I don't fucking remember. What's that thing called? I think that's close. Maybe it's not even close. I don't know. Whatever the fuck that thing's called. Man, I can't wait to hear what that thing's actually called. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck did I say? That'll be pretty funny. But when that chick falls in there, she gets this like huge spike through her leg. And it's like right through the center of her leg. It's like this fucking big. And I remember just laughing because I'm like, what exactly happened to the bone in that situation? Did it just like push the bone out and like threw it like out of the hole or something? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. There's a bone in there. There can't be this huge puncture. Like if it was a smaller one, here we go. Little innuendo here for it. But if it was a smaller one, it could go and it could like either splinter and shatter the bone a little bit and break it apart a little bit to push through. But with this big, like an enormous fucking thing, and you're pushing that, there's no way the bone, it would hit the bone. It would, you'd fall and then you'd hit it and then you'd slide and it would like cut the side of your leg. It wouldn't go through. There's no fucking way. And if it did, your bone would be like sticking out on both sides of it, broken, whatever. But I just laughed out loud when I saw how huge this thing was penetrating through her leg. And yes, I know it sounds very sexual with the stuff I'm saying. But she says she's leaving. Oh, yeah. So, as I said, like, she goes to leave him in this. And he's like, I'll survive. And he walks away. And you're thinking, like, oh, he really was just trying to make her stronger. Like, and that's where I was really conflicted. I was like, God, like, she's staying for all of this. Like, if a girl comes to me and is telling me her boyfriend is abusive, like, I am fucking immediately sympathetic. I want to beat the shit out of the guy. I want to fucking help the girl. I want to be the knight in shining armor, help the damsel in distress kind of guy. That's just how I am, how I was raised, whatever. But when a girl starts coming to me, like, over and over and over again, and is just like, oh yeah, he's, he said all this bullshit to me, or he like slapped me again, or whatever. After the umpteenth time, you're just kind of like, okay, like, leave, or I'm not listening anymore. Like, this is just, at this point, you've got to go, or you're sticking around for it, And that could be controversial, and we could fucking debate on all that, like, they're too scared to leave, and that's the problem. Yeah, sure, I guess. But there's so many scenarios where they really can just fucking leave. And at that point, I just don't feel sorry for them anymore. I don't want it to happen, and I really wish they'd get their shit together, and I wish it could help, but I just can't. And in this scenario, it's like he's being forceful with her training and trying to get her prepped and stronger. She doesn't have to stay for any of this. Not for one fucking bit of it. So she wants to leave. She has every fucking right to. So I can't. That's why I'm saying this is very conflicting. Until I see her like throwing her around, he's kicking her in the stomach. Then of course, then it's way too far. He's abusive beyond, and that's different. That changes things. But when a guy's like mentally abusive like that, and the girl is like really aware of it, and is, I don't know, man. At that point, you just gotta get your shit and go. So I was conflicted on who I was, like, if I was feeling fully sorry for her or not, until he started beating the shit out of her and then raped her, literally. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, this guy's gotta die. This is horrible. What a piece of shit. But then, the basement that this fucking creature, this Moonface, has, and he like turns on the generator or whatever, and then there's like police sirens all around, and the horn and everything. That's terrifying. And he's like drilling this girl's eyes out and putting her up on a cross and adding her up to the family outside, and the lights shining through the holes that where their eyes once were, and it's all the way through the back of their head. Almost reminds me of like Derry in Jeepers Creepers. That was great, all that shit. I love seeing the crucifixions and all the eyes missing and the moonlight and all that. I thought that was all fucking fantastic looking. So that whole room, and then Angus Scrimm down there, the lunatic who's down there, and he's, talking feverishly and dancing around and yelling and laughing and stuff, is great, man. It felt very Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque. I loved it. Have him like as a grandpa type character in a Texas Chainsaw movie, that would have been great. He's fantastic in this. A drastic difference than from his tall man character, of course. And the fact that she, not only kills Moonface by pushing him out that window, and then he falls to his death, but also fucking shoots and kills Angus Scrimm character as well, which is, I don't know, like I wasn't expecting it in the moment, but this chick went full balls to the wall. Then she grabs the body out of the trunk, brings it back. You think the Moonface is coming to kill her, but no, he's in the trunk. The twist, he was beating the shit out of her, and she killed him, threw him in the trunk, and now she's gonna add it to the bodies. Now, the girl I was watching this with took it as she has like lost her mind and is now a killer. I didn't take it like that. I took it more like, she was being defensive in the moment, and then she went and took his body down there and added him to the family, as she says, by kind of discarding the remains of him and ridding herself of the blame for it. She is gonna frame this fucking Moonface guy, and yeah, she's getting some kind of she's overcoming something by disposing of him in that way, maybe taking on, and that's just it. That's like another thing, was like she learned from her first abuser, and here she's learned from her second one. She takes on some of his traits by applying this tactic of drilling through their heads and crucifying them and throwing them up in the yard. It would have been interesting if she'd done that to Angus Scrimm's character as well, and Moonman. That would have been, our Moonface. That would have been fucking awesome. Had she went down and like found his body, although there's no way she could drag it back up there, But whatever. At least Angus Scrimm's character. I love that. I love the look of the moon shining through the back of the head, and his eyes are. I think that's fantastic looking. So yeah, and then and that's just it. That's where I was kind of in disagreement with Kaylee. It was like, I don't feel like she then went off and started a killing spree. Like if she stayed at the house and was like gonna take over as the new Moonface, I would have been like, okay, that doesn't make sense. That I wouldn't have cared for that, and I would have been on board with what Kaylee was talking about. But for me, it was more along the lines of like, she's now done with that chapter and it's time to start a new life. She's gonna take, all these lessons with her, and she's going to heal, and she's going to have a better life now that she's, vanquished all of her foes. So to me, I don't see that she's now a lunatic and she's going to go on a killing spree. So there's that. Anyways, incident on and off a mountain road. Yeah, I said everything I want to say, so let's move on.